Welcome back to our Let's Play of Disco Elysium. Last time we talked to pretty much, well, almost everyone left in this section of the town. And then the end of it, we got kind of sucked into a really extended conversation with an old war vet. Um, Learned a bit about the war that passed uh, before now, a few years ago, but took a little while, so might probably going to do a little less in this episode. What is that? Is that it? Oh, wait. Thank you. There
Son,
it is.
you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups.
Okay. Yes, sir. Forge me into an organic steel, coach.
It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete.
Wait, why piss?
When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going to piss himself. It just happens. No shame in that.
Let's do it.
Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. The Homo athleticus.
More like athleticus. Like, nice. What did I get? Coach Physical Instrument. I'm gonna get -2 encyclopedia for intense workout. So you are minding your own business, trying to get some detective work done, and suddenly a voice encouraged you from within. A voice emerged from within you and told you that you're a wuss, a namby-pamby, assisting a limp jellyfish. Harsh. This voice has zero gender sensitivity and even less empathy for underwhelming athletic performance. Try to purposely piss it off, see if it teaches you something. Pretend you don't know the difference between a double and a single support phase in a discipline of hammer throw. It hates that. What? Did I initialize it? Okay. Are these always on, or do I have to take them off? How do I unlock this? Oh, I spent a skill point to unlock it. I see. Oh, sure. Physical instrument. Only takes 40 minutes. But, I mean, I want to do that eventually, but is there a way to take these off without forgetting them? I could have swore there was. No, I can only forget them. Okay, that's fine. Alright, there was a... That's the... Oops, sorry. There was a woman over here I needed to talk to. What's in here? I didn't check this place. Oh, this is the apartment. I'll come here after I talk to the woman. Looks like there's more construction here. Was decades ago. Or once decades ago. Up. Up. Document reserved for residents of Rue des Saints, the same 33A. Your room is whirling isn't much bigger than this shop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds her hand over the railing. Shake
I'm
her
glad
hand.
to see you here.
Her grip is tight and
I
cold.
was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That'd be nice.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Thanks.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
I bet it
It
is.
happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
Is he trying to get me
How
to...
interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Alright, you're on a
Why,
boat.
yes, I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter ahead. Does she have a
The
name?
boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
Okay, what kind of boat
It's
is
a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like
My
it?
sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I am enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Shut up. Not a lot of people with
Of course
boats
there
here.
are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
One in
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou. We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Okay.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Why?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
It'll come off like I'm envious. I'm not. Yeah, why am I even thinking this? I have police work to do.
Have it your way.
Alright. Do you have a license for this?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
That's not a yes.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
I think I have a handle on both
Good.
things. Tell me about the Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
Okay, what did they
The
do?
Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
How much money does Wild
I'm
Pines
not
have?
at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
Uh-huh.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where do they get all these
They
billions?
started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Okay. What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
Could be something
We
else.
built this district.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions, the plazas Meteor and Mosaic, even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
Okay.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
Okay.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Yeah. Can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear these
First,
trades?
you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Okay.
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
Gotcha.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Yes, I
But
get
I
it.
am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What's your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
Gotcha. Don't we have phones?
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Yeah, you said they weren't.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Yeah, I noticed that. Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
So the strike's connected to the
Yes,
lynching.
I believe there is a connection, but that's a subject for later.
Uh-huh. How were talks going before
Let's
the
say
lynching?
I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
Yeah. So...
I wasn't the original negotiator here.
Oh.
I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan.
Oh, God
This
forbid.
time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
Okay. What happened to this
Mr.
gourmand?
Clare told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Okay, then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are their
There are
demands?
leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Alright, that's a little extreme.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Yeah, but what does that even mean?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
It's pretty funny after
They're
that.
having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This
Oh,
checks
I know
out.
him. The scabs at the gate. Did you put them
The
there?
scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
Let's call them strikebreakers. You put them there, right?
If these strikebreakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Got you. Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Gerard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt.
Oh.
I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of them?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Okay. What about the union itself outside of the
The
brothers?
Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. But they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say...
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
That is sad.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
Apparently.
And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Basically a socialist mob from the sounds of it.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
Yeah. Okay. One more thing. You said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
Oh yeah, what was her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files.
Private correspondence, Holly. Okay, some kind of extortion
Indeed.
probably.
The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Okay. I'll have to remember these guys.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Alright. That's all I need here. Let's
Of course.
change
How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Uh-oh.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I remember when my partner told you about my recently suffering from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
I'm not going to admit I was heavily drinking.
I
Yes.
can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city,
Oh,
nothing.
dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
Indeed.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize.
Oh, good.
But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Alright. I'm not going to do this. I only have a 42% chance, and it's a red check. So...
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
You seem smart. I need some... You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
Reality?
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I'm investigating a personal investigation into the world I find myself in.
Truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
My theory is that this inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge with our murder investigation. They are really one and the same. Yeah.
Deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Right. Where are
We're in
we?
Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
Gotcha.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. forgotten even, shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Now tell me more about Martin.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities. Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
Okay. What is the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Okay. That's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is
The
it?
great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism.
Okay, what makes it great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Right? When was it built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And who built it?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
And why will it resolve
They
history?
say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island, able to sustain up to 200 million people, in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
It's one important part of important
I think
place.
it's fair to say so. Martinez is about 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom, coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Okay.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
That is true.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Let me use these two though.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality. A strange cold, it's on the tip of your tongue.
Alright, that's
Glad
all for
to have
now.
been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
You seem to be rich. That's money.
is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Oh, why
Look
not?
at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub. A well-kept, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au natural, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style, positively statuesque, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yeah, so.
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian,
Okay.
barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too.
Ashamed?
Yes, you're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Odinel.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
I'm gonna try and force myself to say it.
I am sorry. It's surprisingly eloquent, really. The last one, not the first three. Those are ape speak.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you.
What you meant to say was,
Right.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Alright. Whoa.
Hey.
3 things. Me?
yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
How come there's
You
word on the
keep
street?
saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
I haven't said anything like
Okay,
it.
not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind.
Okay.
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or
What's
do we
this
get right
communism-
down to it?
What's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure. Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin. Where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade.
No.
Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has objections. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Everyone knows this. Did someone mention cocaine? Are we doing cocaine? No. I'm sure I heard someone say cocainism. Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one? There's no one. Okay then, lie down and let the water carry you downstream.
Alright, goodbye, communism.
Coach, physical instrument. Wait, how did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How do you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of the city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot-put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins. Take your shirt off, Namby. Your skins.
Okay. So what do I get? I lose an encyclopedia, but get 2 physical instrument. Interesting. Alright. Well.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like a horse. A workhorse. For hard work.
What hard work do I do
Look
exactly?
at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Yeah, I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
Uh-huh.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually
That's
not.
right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Why am I
Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate that is Reverchon?
Okay. But there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gotham estate's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money.
That's a lot. Are you sure? That seems like a
What are
pretty
you
big
not
number.
sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain. But how will help?
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Yes, sir. Alright. Okay. So, get reality lowdown. Joyce's info on lynching. Can I do these? Is that... I'm never sure what this means exactly. Okay. So I got 2 new things, but I can't put them. Is it worth getting those extra slots early, or should I wait for that? I'm not sure. Let's see.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Why am I looking at this wall?
Because this is no ordinary wall. It is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors.
Let the conceptual joy flow through your pupils of
All
blossoming
the
thoughts.
other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. O Wall Father.
Kim, I must paint this wall. Add even more beauty to it.
He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
First, I know you're tired, Kim, but there's another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty.
Sure.
Must talk to Cindy, get the
If you
necessary
must.
materials from her. If you must. Okay. That's actually all the time I have today, though. I needed to make up time for make up for the extended time we went last time. So I'm going to call it here. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. It always helps me out. When we come back, we'll go into the apartment and see if we can find that one dude. Until next time, though, have a good day and take care.